Hello YouTube. So we got our boost pipes fixed, the hot side. They crack around the wastegates. The pipe that goes from the hot side to the wastegates, I don't think I used the right metal. It's just something I picked up at Advance. It keeps cracking. It actually almost broke completely off on the passenger side. If you guys watched when I did the onboard air, I found that. After I ran a 9.2 pass at 142 in the quarter, the car sounded funny. Well, that's why. And then this side, the driver's side, I went ahead and took it off, and it had a hairline crack in it, so I had him weld that up. I don't know if it'll crack again. I don't know if it cracked from the GT45, because the GT45 was probably making tremendous back pressure. This one shouldn't make as much back pressure. I don't know. I don't know why it cracked. I don't know if it was the metal, the back pressure, if it cracked with the 78, 75, or the I don't know. But we'll keep an eye on it. Today we're going to go over there and see if we can't dial this into 650 index. Yeah, with our onboard air. Alright, so there's a 5-pound spring in it. So that'd be 10, but at 3,400 RPM launch, it should, I don't know how much it's going to break on the brake, but we're going to do 7 down the track, which should be about 12 pounds of boost. I think that'd be close to a 650. Most of these index races, they're no prep, so I want to try to 60 like a 140 and then roll the boost in as we go. But let's make a pass and see what that does. Whoops, wrong button. Yeah. 7 across the board. Now I put that 650 there because later, once we get her dialed in, we're going to bump this number up. That way, if it's running slower than 650, at 650 it'll kick some boost in for us, and we'll know that we're running a little slow. Yeah. Well, it launched pretty good, but it felt like it laid over, so we need to look at the log. I'm sure it's going to want more boost up top. All right, 150, 60 foot. Look at that reaction time. Woo woo. 6.9. I'm not sure if I spooled it all the way up. I don't know what I was doing. 6.9. But let's add one more. Let's see if we spooled it all the way up first. But we might add one more up here, and then 2 more across the top. But let's see what it did. Well, look at that. It boost spiked. So on the trans brake, it actually got where it's supposed to go. But it only made 3.8. It was actually starting to come back down when we let off the button. 3.7, not much, but look at boost spiked at 10 psi, and then settled at 6.7, 6.8. And that's when our second pump should have kicked on, or maybe, yeah, that should have been when our second pump kicked on. We're at 12.8 FR. I don't think that's where we need to be. See where it was when we hit 10 psi. So 6 to 10 psi, what's it say in the table? So it should have been 12.2 to 11.7. We're going to fatten those tables up a little bit. So 5 psi boost up. We're going to fatten them tables up because I'm pretty sure 5 pounds is where that other pump comes on. So we're going to go up here to 5 psi. We're going to fatten those up a little. Then we're just going to do page up. About 3. Yeah. Do that. Oh, I missed this bottom line. Grab it. Not like it's ever going to be in that bottom line, but I like to see it nice and smooth. Oh wait, that was -5. Did we grab the -5? undo everything and come back here to the 5. Yeah, see, that's when that second pump comes on. See how this is lower? It ain't much off. Now we'll highlight the whole table. And then I had to undo it all. I wasn't sure if I went over to the -5. So 1, 2, oops, wrong way. Go back where we was. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that second pump comes right on at 5 psi. It's just a little too lean because it's wanting to target 12.2. Now we're going to go 5. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Then the second pump kicks on right there. That's about even. Maybe it didn't kick on yet. We'll see. We'll see, because we're going to go higher and higher and boost. But let's see. When it spiked 10 pounds of boost, the FR was still 12.8. And 10 pounds of boost should have been 11.7. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we're going to go in here and clear the long-term fuel trims. We're going to reset these. And then we'll go ahead and apply the idle long-term fuel trims. Where they're at. Why is that sun all the way, always in our way? We'll apply those. Yeah, let's try that. And then we want it to 60 foot a little bit better. So, oh, I gotta delete this out. It's hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time. Alright, so we need one more there, at least. And then let's do 2 more down the track. We'll go 9. See what that does. Did I put 5 in here? Yeah, why is it red? Actually, let's go 6. Let's go straight to 6. 6 and then 9 down the track. What was the 7? Well, that's weird because 7 on the dome down the track didn't even make 7, and there's a 5-pound spring, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, and we're going to ramp this in. I'm going to see what time it took from here to right there, because that's where it hit about where we was out here. And then I'm going to figure out the time from here to here, and we're going to ramp the boost in so it's a little bit smoother. That's what we're going to do. We're going to ramp it in. See, we might even have to put that number lower than this number to get it to not boost spike, but we got complete control now with that onboard air. We just got to figure out how it likes to go. See, but that boost spike might have helped us 60 better, because it went from 1, I mean, see, that's 0.96 seconds right there. That's almost 1 second. So that was part of our 60. See where it made. Yeah, about right there. 0.4 seconds. So we can probably, I got an idea. There. So 2 seconds is when it come up and come back down to where it should have been. So we're just gonna we're gonna do 6, 6, 6, and then it'll start ramping it in. But yeah, I don't know if it'll go faster or slower like that. This is liable to make it 60 foot slower, where it ain't boost spiking to 10 pounds. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get her dialed in. All right, I changed my mind. We're going to do 7 up to 0.4 seconds, then ramp it in. We're going to ramp it up to 11 at 2 seconds, and then on out. Because, I mean, it should 140, 60 foot. And then it should make about 11 pounds. I'm thinking it's going to take 13 pounds of boost to run a 650. But we'll try that. We'll try that first. That might have been a little too spicy. Shift light never went off. Usually when the shift light never goes off, it's a little too spicy. We'll see. We'll actually run a 658. But it was just at a 150, 60 foot, so we need to turn the 60 foot up a little, and that should put us exactly where we want to go. Once we get parked, we'll take a look at the ticket and the log here real quick. All right, there we go. 150, 60 foot, 658 at 104. But we took off. That is spiking 10 pounds of boost. That's what we cut last time, right? We turned the boost up. So it's spiking 10 pounds of boost, help the 60 for sure. But yeah, 658 at 104. Yeah, that was barely better than our last 60 foot. See, let's look at the log and see how it rolled in. All right, there we go again. It built boost just fine. I'm not even bumping in, but it's only making 3.5 pounds. But as soon as you let go of the button, boom. But it is a good steady 10, 11 pounds going down the track. Actually, I thought it would take 13 to run a 6.5. It only took 11, and we left lazy, so we're gonna have to leave a little bit harder. I'm gonna up that up a couple more. It's like we change it and it's not really going up. We're gonna relook at our launch RPM. Might need to turn the launch RPM up to get that to come up some. I don't know. Or maybe that on the brake number needs to be higher than the rest of the numbers. That's a really good boost curve. Look at it. And look at we was targeting 11.7. Look at that. 11.6, 11.8, 11.9, 11.7. See what the average was from here to here. That'll give us an average over here. 11.2. So yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll just start applying the long terms and let it adjust from there, and then we'll blend it in. But that's good. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with the fueling. I think the fueling's where it needs to be. That second pump definitely kicked on there. I know for sure it kicks on 11. It kicks on between 5 and 7 psi. Not sure. It's hard to test the hop switch on when it comes on. I should have wired it through the Rebel for it to come on through the Rebel. Where's all your buddies at? I don't know.
How'd you get off work?
It's track owner.
What up? Hey, where's...
So I'm gonna up this number until we're about 5 or 6 pounds of boost, just sitting here on the trans brake. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like 5 seconds at a time. Let's put it at 9. See what that does. Yeah, something ain't right. Cause I've went from 7 to 9 to 12. And it won't make over 3.2 pounds of boost. It just won't do it. It just won't do it. So it ain't working when I'm on the trans brake. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. Well, I mean, it's working because I went in here and hit the trans brake. Key on, engine off. I hit the trans brake button and hit the gas, and it's applying dome pressure. Maybe it just ain't enough RPM to get it to build enough boost. Maybe this is why Christopher's car launches so easy with his onboard air. Watch, I got CO2, it's the same difference. Maybe that's why. Maybe you just have to have RPM to get it to build boost on the line with it. Unless I just put the dome pressure or something stupid. If I do that, it's definitely going to boost spike coming off the line. We don't want that. So let's turn up the RPM to 4,000 RPM launch, which is going to get us a good 60 foot regardless. But I want to see how much boost it builds. See, even with it at 12 on the dome and 3,400 RPM, it only built 3.2 pounds of boost. Let's try 3,800 RPM, see what that does. I'm gonna put that at 7, back to 7. Then we're just gonna turn up the launch RPM, trans brake RPM limit. We're gonna put it at 38. See what that does. See, it took almost 4 seconds for it to build 5 psi, but this time it built 5 psi, and that's 3,800 RPM. That should get us a good 60 foot. Yeah, that should definitely get us a good 60 foot. I think that'll put us right on 6.5. Let's try it. 3,800 RPM launch. Oh, and the shift light was set to 6,250 where I was bracket racing. I shipped that to 6,500. But I don't know if you guys were looking or not. I usually don't. It doesn't actually, the light goes off, you hit the shifter, the transmission takes a while to do what it does. So it doesn't really shift until about 67, 68. I think it's going to run faster in a 6.5 now. 5 pounds of boost, 3,800 RPM launch. Let me see, when we cut that 1,360 and ran that 9.2 at 142, it was at a 3,400 RPM launch, 9 psi. 9 psi off the launch. But yeah. The onboard air, CO2, whatever, it's a little tricky. It seems like you gotta give it more RPM to launch is good. So here we go. Basically the same boost ramp as we ran the 658 with a 150/60. This time we're going from a 3,400 RPM launch to a 3,800 RPM launch. And it probably built 5 or 6 pounds of boost. See what that does. I think that's going to get us close, because that should want 60 like a 142. It's probably going to run a 640. We might have to take a little bit out up top, or take a little bit out on the launch. I don't know. We'll see. Woohoo! Look at that. 144. That's about where we want to be on the 60, because even the no prep front sides, it should hook a 144. But we're actually staging really shallow, and when we do a pro tree, we're going to go in deep. So I need this to be a 649. So let's look at the boost curve, and maybe we'll just add a pound, out towards the top. After about 2 seconds, we'll just add another pound of boost, see what that does. But we'll leave the 60 right there. That's where I want it. Yes, sir. Alright, so yeah, it built about 5.7, 5.8. It only took it 2.3 seconds to do that. And then out here, I made 10, 11.5, 11.4. So yeah, it's coming in nice and smooth, man. Nice and smooth. We just need to add a little bit more out here. Maybe about right here. Ramp it in a little bit better. Maybe 1 pound of boost and just ramp it in. Right here's where we let off the brake. Maybe add 1 pound of boost right there at 0.8 seconds. Let's think about this. We only need 200, so let's add about a pound of boost about halfway through. About halfway through. Yeah. But look at the intake air temperatures, which is really cold today. It's only like 68. But yeah, they're below 100. There was 86. Got up a little over 100 after the pass. Yeah, they're doing good. It's the air. It's good air. DA is only about 1,000 today. All right, I just added a pound of boost for the last 3 seconds, 3.1 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can, y'all school me on this, but I think you can take timing out on the trans brake and get it to spool faster and more. I don't know, you guys let me know about that. I'm gonna ask a few people to see. I think that's the case though. All right, here we go. Pass number 3, 4. I think we're on 3. Or is it 4? I can't remember. I know we run a 90. This is 4. We ran a 690 something, a 658, and then a 651. This time I'm hoping for a 649. So this time I think I'm going to bump in with light brake pressure, keep it from rocking so much. I'm going to do 2 bumps. I'm going to try to set that to where the car almost goes deep, so you can cut a good light on a 400 Pro Tree. So I'm going to start practicing that. So foot brake, turn the first beam on, barely turn it on, and then lightly hold the brake, and then spool it up, and bump, and let off the brake, and go when the tree falls. Yeah, like that. Well, 2 bumps is way too much. It turned that top bulb out, and it almost sounded like something popped. I don't know, maybe it's just a suspension. It makes popping sound sometimes. But yeah. But yeah, I think it went way too fast that time. Maybe I spooled it up more. I don't know. It felt like it went a lot faster that time. We'll look at the time slip once we get parked. It's dark. I can't see it dropping down the road. Odd, it went slower. 661. What in the world? We lost our 60 foot. You know, that's where we staged in so deep. We were so deep. Yeah, we're just too deep. And see, when you go deep, you don't get as much rollout, and your 60 foot goes south. So does your time. But it bumped in way too far. It turned the top bulb off. So I'm glad that we practiced that. See, look, that's our fastest time, our fastest mile per hour. See, that 658 was just a 104. I don't know where the 651 ticket went. See, the 651 was a 105. But we were in way too deep. We were in way too deep. We turned that top bulb out. See, that's what rollout does to you. I mean, if you barely turn that top bulb on, you get a running start before it actually starts timing you. If you go in deep, you don't get much of a running start. And, you know, it slowed down our 60 but we trapped higher. So it slowed this down almost a 10, and it slowed this down a 10. But we trapped higher, see? So we was making more power just where we was in deep. But we were in way too deep. We're gonna have to make some adjustments to that bump. And maybe turn it up just a little on the launch, maybe. Yeah. Turn it up a little on the launch to get this back in the 140s. And see what it does. We're gonna have to turn that bump down about, I don't know, 50% at 3,800 RPM. Oh, and holding the brake while I hit the bump definitely kept it from doing this number. It just bumped way too far. Need to turn it down quite a bit and maybe do 3 bumps. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because that was too much. So that cell was at 74. I figured 74 times 2, what is that, 148? So I figured 3 bumps to get there, minus about 30 or minus about 40. 3 bumps would be 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, 12, 102. So minus about 46 out of that. I don't know if that'll be enough, but we'll do. I wonder if I held the brakes any on that one. I don't know, but we're going to try 3 bumps on the next one. But they're doing a gambler's race, and there are a ton of cars. So you got to wait between rounds. And that ain't even all of them. That's just like even number or odd number or something like that. There's a ridiculous, it's the Kenmore. This place is packed. But yeah. Oddly enough, it made 8, what was it, 5 or 6 before? It's making 7, 8 pounds at least on the launch now. Huh, that's weird. It's doing what it do. AFR is still where target is for 12 pounds of boost. It's 11.7 for 12 pounds of boost. So yeah, we're gonna leave the tune where it's at. We're just gonna not bump in so far, and I think that ought to do it. I think we just bumped in too far. It was, the weird thing about it is, on Chris's car, it makes spring pressure plus dome close to it. Mine makes exactly what you command with a 5-pound spring. That should be like 17 pounds of boost. I don't know. Come down here to test the bump. That didn't even move the car. So we got to turn that up a little bit more. Alright, that seems to be the ticket. It doesn't bump that hard, but it bumps in pretty good. That's going to take some getting used to, though. Holding the brake a little and then taking your foot off the brake and then letting off the trans brake. That's going to take some getting used to. I mean, who knows? I might have been riding the brake all the way down through there also. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to try 3 bumps this time. Light pressure on the brake and see what that does. Go from there. Yeah, with it at 54 at 3,800 RPM. Well, 3 was too much on that setting. And I didn't ride the brakes enough because they rocked a little bit, but look at that. But that did good. 652. We're just, if we wasn't in too deep to turn that top bulb off, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. Just gotta turn the bump down until I can 3 bump with light brake pressure. So what I've been doing, hold the trans brake spooled up, and then light pressure on the brake, and then 1, 2, 3, real quick. And then as soon as I do that, I slide my foot off the brake. We'll just keep turning the bump down until, I think as long as we don't go deep, this is going to be perfect. That rollout slows you down a lot. I mean, if you want to make your fastest pass, you come up here and you barely turn that second bulb on, and you'll get a huge run before your time even starts. Your time don't start until your tire clears both of them beams. Now, I was in deep both of them last 2 passes. I wasn't as deep this time, but both of them last 2 passes, I was so deep that my tire was almost out of that second beam. And in an index racing 400 Pro Tree, if you turn that top bulb out, you automatically red light as soon as the tree falls. You can't deep stage on index racing 400 Pro Tree. But yeah, let's keep adjusting this bump. Hopefully we'll get the bump right, get the rollout just right to where to run a 650. But it's running really close. 652 on that one. I think that last one, it was where we was in too deep, number 1. Number 2, I might not have took my foot off the brake. I ain't got nobody here to record me. Like, there's nobody here that I really know that is usually here every week. Willis and TJ and Clayton and Brian. None of them guys are here. That's who usually I chill out with. But there are a few people I know, but not enough to say, hey, record a pass for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's keep messing with this bump. I'm going to turn it down 5. So what was it at? 54? Put it at 49 maybe? See what that does. Maybe that's too big of a jump. I don't know. I've never really messed with the bump on the Rebel. So it'll be a learning experience. I'm going to turn it down 5. I know 34 didn't do nothing. 54 bumped us through on 3 bumps. And then 74 bumped us through on 2 bumps. But yeah, we'll try to split the difference. Try to do 49. 40. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to set that bump to where I can get in as deep as possible without turning that top light out, because on a 400 Pro tree, those 3 lights light up and then it goes green in 0.4 seconds. So it's very difficult to cut a good light on a Pro tree, a 400 Pro tree, without being in deep. But if you go in so deep that you turn out that top bulb, you automatically red light when the tree falls. And I want to ride the brake, so when I bump in, the car don't rock and flicker that top bulb. Sometimes that top bulb will flicker and you won't even see it. It'll be lit up solid yellow, but the infrared beam that goes across through there sees it, and it'll automatically red light you. So you want to try to get in deep, not to turn off that top bulb, but almost right there. And if you let go of the button, as soon as them 3 yellow lights light up all at once, you'll cut a really good light. But you got to be in deep to cut a good light on a 400 Pro tree, and that's what I'm practicing for. 400 Pro tree, 650 index. I wish that they, would set the lights up so you could practice that, but it was sportsman trees, so I was just trying to set the bump to where it'd get in deep enough not to turn off that top bulb, but almost. Alright, that was 54, now we're at 49. Same boost ramp. It's 3,800 RPM launch, 7.7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 10, 10.5, and then 12 on out. And like there's 30% or 10 dome on the scramble right here. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we got that time. An upside down ticket. Ooh. Picked up everywhere. Man, that bump goes a long way. I bumped it down 5 and it didn't even go near as far as it did all the other times. Or when it was from 54 to 49 was a big difference. But look, cut a 006 light, but ran a 647. So that's the difference on how deep you're bumped, man. Ain't that weird? We wasn't that deep that time. I think 51's going to do it. I hope it does, because it's the last test and tune pass we get. And then I gotta not forget to turn that off. Y'all don't let me forget to turn that off. The DA is dropped to 100. 100. That is awesome weather for running personal best, especially on a naturally aspirated vehicle. It makes a difference on turbo vehicles too. It just doesn't make a huge difference. Yeah, it's around 47 to 51. I'm not going to count that where we bumped in too far. But yeah, it's running. If I stage the same every time, did the burnout the same and stage the same every time, I think where I fixed the pipes, where the pipes had cracks in them on the hot side, I think it's going to be pretty consistent again, like it was before. We'll see for sure. Well, we're messing with the bump. The deeper you go in, the slower your ET is going to be. We didn't get in that deep that time, so this time we'll get in pretty deep. But here we go. We're after that car. There's something. Well, that was too much. We turned the top bulb out. So 49 to 52. You know, one number goes a long way. I'm gonna put it at 50. But we're out of test and tune for the day. They said no more test and tune. So, but I mean, test and tune here is $50, which I think is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But we got about 6 or 7 passes in, didn't we? That ain't too bad, I don't guess. We got up here and we'll look at the time slip. Larry at the tower already told me it ran a 6:53. I think I was on the brake. I think I left my foot on the brake. It's hard to remember to bump and then slip your foot off the brake and then release the trans brake and blah, blah, blah. 018 light. I need to start staging deep in bracket racing. Yeah, 6:53. I'm not sure if my foot was on the brake or I don't know if it was. We still trapped 106. Going deep, I'm cutting some good lights, man. I just wait till that. We should be, I don't know, it's different than actually doing a 400 Pro Tree. On a 400 Pro Tree, you want to get deep. You want to let go of that button as soon as you see them lights even try to light up. But I think the last 650 index races we did, I can't remember what lights I was cutting, but out here, I think I was cutting 06, 05. I don't know. We're going to have to turn that bump down. We was at 49. It wasn't deep enough. We'll do 50. All right, let's recap. I was in the left lane on all of them. 6.9 on our initial tune, 693. I thought that was an 8, but whatever. Second pass, 658, 104, almost 105. And then 651. We turned her up a little, 105. 661, that's where we went in crazy deep. 652. 647. And then a 653. Not too bad. But need to figure out where exactly we need to set that bump to cut a good light on a Pro Tree. And then, yeah, then maybe make some tweaks to get it to run 650. Plus in different weather, it's going to run a little bit different. Like I said, the DA does matter on turbo cars. It just doesn't matter as much as like a natural aspirated car. But we're going to set this bump back down a little bit. Save that tune. Yeah. But y'all, thanks for watching. Have a great day. I think it's running pretty consistent. Just got to find the, the correct bump every time. I think on them last 2 passes too, I went in a little far turning that first bulb on. I got to creep up and stop as soon as that top bulb comes on, then bump from there. It's all about consistency, doing it the same every time. Y'all have a great day.